Are you tired of fighting battles no one sees? Tired of waking up heavy, scrolling through highlights of other lives while yours feels stuck in slow motion? You work, you try, yet something inside you whispers, you're losing. Not because you lack talent, not because you lack time, but because your mind is untrained, undisciplined,
With every step,
unarmed.
I feel
The
the
modern
weight of
world rewards
ages,
comfort and
the echoes of
distraction.
forgotten
We
prayers
chase
in
pleasure,
this hallowed
but stay
ground.
empty. We chase ease, but stay anxious. Comfort is the new cage. And the longer you stay inside, the weaker you become. But the Stoics knew the truth 2,000 years ago. You don't control the world, you control your mind. And once you master your mind, pain, fear, failure, rejection, nothing can break you again. This video isn't
light
entertainment.
shall pierce
It's
the
a weapon,
darkness,
a
and I
blueprint for
shall
inner
walk
power.
the path of
8
truth.
brutal Stoic laws that will strip weakness from your mind and rebuild it with steel and fire. If you're tired of living soft, if you're ready to think like a warrior in a world of victims, stay until the end. Because one idea here could change everything you believe about pain, power, and peace. Law 1. Embrace discomfort. Pain is the doorway. Comfort is the coffin. Every time you run from discomfort, you teach your mind to retreat. Every time you face it, you teach your mind to fight. The Stoics trained for pain the way soldiers train for war. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That line is not poetry, it's programming. Whatever blocks you becomes the path forward if you face it head on. Take a cold shower when your mind screams no. Lift when you're tired. Speak truth when fear chokes you. That's how you build the muscle no gym can touch, mental strength. Discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. It's the test ground where weakness burns and resilience is born. Seneca slept on the floor to remind himself that comfort is an illusion. He asked, "Is this what I feared?" and realized fear shrinks when faced directly. So ask yourself daily, where am I choosing comfort over growth? Because comfort never made anyone strong. Only friction shapes steel. Only fire forges warriors. Repeat this until it becomes your code. Discomfort is my training ground. Say it again, louder in your mind each morning. When the cold hits, when rejection stings, when doubt whispers, remember the obstacle is the way. Law 2. Master your emotions. If you are ruled by emotion, you are a slave. If you rule your emotion, you are free. Every day, people surrender power through reaction. Someone insults them, they explode, plans change, they collapse, they feel lazy, they quit. That's not life controlling them, that's emotion controlling life. Epictetus said, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." Think about that. Every time you let anger steer your actions, you hand your steering wheel to a stranger. The Stoic path is not emotional numbness, it's emotional mastery. Feel everything, but respond with reason, not impulse. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's radical responsibility. You can't always choose what happens, but you can always choose what it means. And meaning is everything. Next time you're triggered, pause. Take one breath, ask, "Is this useful?" If not, drop it. Don't give free rent in your mind to emotions that destroy your peace. Discipline is emotional armor. Calm is a superpower. In a world that overreacts to everything, silence becomes dominance. When people see you unshaken, they feel it. They sense control, authority, depth. Because mastering emotion is the rarest form of strength left in this noisy age. Remember, you cannot control the storm, but you can control your sails, and that's enough to reach any shore. Law 3. Stop expecting fairness. Life owes you nothing, not comfort, not clarity, not reward. You can do everything right and still lose. You can work harder than anyone and still be overlooked. That's not injustice. That's reality. The Stoics faced corruption, betrayal, and loss. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still wrote, "You can commit injustice by doing nothing." He didn't whine. He didn't wait for fairness. He acted anyway. Fairness is a beautiful story that weakens the soul. When you expect the world to be fair, you create pain every time it isn't. The Stoic accepts the world as it is, not as he wishes it to be. Bad things happen to good people. Evil wins sometimes. Effort doesn't always equal outcome. But that's not a reason to break. That's a reason to rise. The question isn't, is this fair? The question is, how will I respond? Power doesn't come from fairness. Power comes from fortitude. The world can be cruel. Let it be. You will be stronger. You will move forward. And that quiet decision to act with dignity when wronged, that's Stoic power. Fairness is an illusion. Strength is a choice. Choose strength every time. Law 4. Focus only on what you can control. The foundation of Stoicism is simple. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't, yet most people reverse it. They fight what's beyond reach, people, opinions, outcomes, and neglect what's within reach, their thoughts, their effort, their attitude. That's why they suffer. Not because life is cruel, but because their focus is misplaced. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This is the essence of freedom. You can't control the weather, but you can prepare for the storm. You can't control traffic, but you can control your patience. You can't control people, but you can control how you treat them. Every moment the universe divides into two zones, what's yours and what isn't. Peace begins the second you stop trying to rule both. Imagine you're steering a ship. Winds will shift, waves will rise. The fool screams at the sea. The Stoic adjusts the sail. That's control, that's calm, that's power. When anxiety hits, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act with precision. If no, release it completely. 90% of worry dissolves with that one question. Control is not domination. Control is focus, and focus is freedom. Once you master this, chaos loses its grip. You become grounded while others panic. You become deliberate while others drift, because the Stoic doesn't chase certainty. He creates clarity inside uncertainty. He knows you don't need control of the world, just control of yourself. Law 5. Practice. Voluntary hardship discipline is a language the weak refuse to learn. The Stoics spoke it fluently. They didn't wait for life to test them. They tested themselves first. Seneca slept on the ground, ate plain food, and wore rough clothes. Not to suffer, to strengthen, not to punish, to prepare. He asked, "Is this what I feared?" And every time the answer was the same. No. I'm stronger than this. Modern life softens us. We chase convenience, luxury, ease. But when hardship comes, and it always comes, comfort leaves us helpless. The Stoic knows better. He trains for the storm before it arrives. He practices hunger, fatigue, rejection, boredom, until he becomes immune to them. This is voluntary hardship, choosing discomfort now to prevent collapse later. Fast for a day and realize hunger doesn't own you. Train when you're exhausted and realize discipline is stronger than feeling. Say no to pleasure you can afford. And remember that self-control is wealth. Every small hardship accepted builds invisible armor. Every comfort refused sharpens your will. The more you practice choosing the hard thing, the easier life becomes when it throws the hard thing at you. That's why Stoics seemed calm in chaos. They weren't lucky. They were trained. Their suffering didn't surprise them. It confirmed their preparation. So the next time life feels unbearable, remind yourself you've been here before. You've trained for this. Hardship is not your enemy. It's your sparring partner. And every time you stand up again, you're proving what the world forgot, that you are unbreakable. Say it now. Hardship is my training. Discipline is my power. Make that your mantra. Live by it. Law 6. Detach from outcomes. The world tells you to chase results. Stoicism tells you to chase excellence. There's a difference. Results depend on chance. Excellence depends on choice. You can't control success. You can't control when your time comes. But you can control how you show up every single day. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things beyond our control." That's detachment, not apathy, mastery. When you tie your worth to results, you live in chains. You win, you feel alive. You lose, you feel broken. But when you tie your worth to effort, to presence, to consistency, you're free. Detach from outcomes. Fall in love with the process. Work not for applause, but for alignment. Do the right thing because it's right, not because it's noticed. The Stoic doesn't chase the finish line. He perfects each step. He shows up without needing validation, without craving reward. And ironically, that's when greatness finds him, because discipline without desperation is magnetic. You want peace? Stop demanding results. Start demanding excellence from yourself. Show up, give everything, and release attachment to what happens next. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason that arm you against the present." That's faith, not in luck, but in your own preparation. So don't chase outcomes. Chase the man you become by doing the work. Because success fades, but character endures. Results are temporary, growth is permanent. And the one who masters the process becomes unstoppable. Law 7. Remember death, memento mori. You will die. Everyone you love will die. Those are not dark words. They are wake-up calls. The Stoics meditated on death every day, not to fall into despair, but to rise with urgency, to remember that time is slipping through their fingers with every breath. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Most people live as if they have forever. They waste time, energy, and potential on things that do not matter. They delay dreams, avoid risk, postpone change, waiting for a someday that never comes. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. It's not a threat. It's freedom. When you face death, you stop fearing life. You stop caring about opinions. You stop wasting hours on drama, doubt, and distraction. You realize that every moment of weakness is a moment stolen from meaning. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it." You don't control how long you live, but you control how deeply you live. So live today like it's borrowed time. Forgive faster, speak truth, act boldly, because the clock is always ticking and you don't know when it stops. Death is the mirror that shows what truly matters. Look into it often. Let it burn away everything unimportant. When you remember death, you start to live, not out of fear, but out of purpose. That's what the Stoics understood. Mortality doesn't limit you. It clarifies you. Law 8. Live by virtue, not approval. Most people live for likes, not legacy. They want applause more than alignment. They chase attention, not authenticity. But the Stoic lives differently. He doesn't bend to crowds or trends. He stands by virtue, by values that do not shift with public opinion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." Integrity is your true wealth. Character is your armor. Virtue is the power that no one can take from you. Do the right thing even when no one sees it. Speak truth even when it costs you. Keep your word even when it hurts. That's how you build a soul that cannot be bought. Virtue is not perfection, it's persistence. It's choosing what's right over what's easy every single day. The crowd will always change. Virtue doesn't. The Stoic doesn't perform for approval. He performs for principle. And when you stop needing validation, the world starts to respect you. You become magnetic, not because you seek power, but because you radiate integrity. Live by this, right over easy. Principle over popularity, virtue over vanity. That's how you become truly free, when you no longer need to impress anyone to feel whole. Chuck, if you've made it here, it means something inside you is tired of weakness. You're done being controlled by emotion, fear, comfort, and noise. You're ready to think like a Stoic, to face pain, loss, and chaos with calm power. The 8 laws you've heard are not theories. They are weapons, tools forged in ancient Rome, tested through war, betrayal, and death. They survived because they work. Embrace discomfort. Master your emotions. Stop expecting fairness. Focus on what you can control. Practice voluntary hardship. Detach from outcomes. Remember death. Live by virtue. Live these, not read them. Train them daily. Speak them to yourself until your mind obeys. Because once your mind is unshakable, nothing can defeat you. Not loss, not failure, not rejection, not pain. You don't need to control the world. You just need to control yourself. And that changes everything. So today, decide. No more excuses. No more softness. No more surrender to weakness. Train your mind. Expect the struggle. Seek discomfort. Live with discipline. And build a strength so deep the world can't touch it. Say it now. I am becoming unbreakable day by day. If this message hit you, like the video right now, comment your favorite Stoic law below, share it with someone who's fighting silently. We're building more than a channel. We're building a community of warriors, thinkers, and seekers, people who refuse to be victims of circumstance, people who rise, because in the end, life will test you. The question is, will you be ready? Stay grounded, stay strong, stay stoic.